And it is time once again for Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions with Sean Robertson and his team at Gateville Law Firm. They're in Yorkville and online at gatevillelawfirm.com. And we've got Sean in studio for today's show. Sean, how are we today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing today, Mike?
Doing well, as we've got a topic for today that's going to dive into long-term care. And we're kind of phrasing this as long-term care is not rare, but it is one of the biggest risks to retirement wealth. So I guess we'll focus on a lot of different things here, Sean, but why should families really be focusing and paying attention to this issue?
Yeah, because this is, like I was just talking to a friend, and she was saying about how her mom has cancer and that the house should be in a trust. And kind of what I told her, the one thing I've started to learn is probate avoidance is one thing, but really the biggest issues that's facing seniors is long-term care and health decline. And we often underestimate how important it is, not who gets the house, who gets the bank accounts, who gets the retirement money, but how do you transition wealth from one generation to the next. So for most families, the surviving spouse 99 out of 100 times inherits everything, and most of the time they're over the age of 70, which means their biggest liability risk is long-term care. So let me kind of give you some statistics, Mike. The Federal Administration for Community Living states that someone turning the age of 65 has almost a 70% chance of needing some type of long-term care services and support during their remaining years. And 20% of today's 65-year-olds will need care for more than 5 years. And if you consider care costs $8,000 to $12,000 a month, that's a huge issue.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, it's not rare. So this is something that isn't just with a small percentage of families. There's a lot of people that deal with this.
Yeah, and so actually, this is pretty much a mainstream family issue. And in Illinois, long-term care is a big issue, Mike, where the U.S. Census Bureau reports that 17.9% of Illinois residents are age 65 or older. So almost 20% of the population are 65 and older. So that means this issue touches a large number of families in the local area: Kendall County, Sandwich, Summit, Yorkville, Oswego, Plainfield, Aurora. So it's not a rare thing.
Yeah, and long-term care, there's all different types, and none of them are cheap. So when you look at expenses for something like this, how expensive can it become?
I mean, it can really become very expensive. So like Care Scouts 2025 Cost of Care Survey reports that the national median cost for semi-private nursing home is $9,581 a month, or $115,000 per year. A private nursing home room nationally, it's $10,798 per month, or just say $130,000 per year. And in Illinois, Care Scouts reports that a semi-private nursing home room is $8,304 per month, or $99,645 per year. So these are pretty, if you need care for 5 years, that's a lot of money.
That's
of
an
cash.
awful lot of money, yeah. So this isn't just about health care, it's about estate planning as well. So when families are dealing with all this, they probably end up inadvertently making some mistakes. So what are some of the problems they get themselves into?
So the biggest problem is the traditional estate planning, Mike, is attorneys draft documents, and we're no longer in the drafting documents issue. So it's setting things up the right way, meaning if we need to go to the bank, which it will help go to the bank. If we need to call or help change your beneficiary form to your trust, we will, because that's really the way things are going now. Because clients, I mean, I wish to believe that most clients understood this trust, but the reality is very few of them understand. I mean, they have some understanding, but they don't really understand. It's kind of like me trying to be a Radio Shack guy. It's like I may be able to fake it for a minute or two, but
or 5,
or maybe 5, but at some point, I can only do so much.
Well, you do quite well. Last 30, 40 seconds or so, what's your advice to families? What should they do to try to work their way through this?
So basically, review your estate plan before a crisis. Act. Don't wait until tomorrow, and tomorrow comes and it's an emergency. So give us a call. We help with risk-based estate planning. So we basically help manage risk and pass wealth from one generation to the next, Mike.
It's Gateville Law Firm. They are in Yorkville. They are ready to take your call, meet with you, and go over all of these different steps so that you have peace of mind and you're making all the right decisions. Call 630-780-1034. Gateville Law Firm is in Yorkville and online at gatevillelawfirm.com. Join us next time for another edition of Trust Matters, Real Estate and Estate Planning Solutions.